The easiest person to defeat isn't the weakest one. It's the person who is absolutely convinced they're right. Because the moment someone starts questioning their own judgment, they stop thinking clearly. They hesitate. They overanalyze. And without realizing it, they start following your lead instead of trusting their own mind. That's why the most dangerous people rarely argue. They don't overpower you with intelligence. They quietly reshape the way you think until you reach the conclusion they wanted all along. Machiavelli understood this better than almost anyone. Real power isn't forcing people to agree with you. It's making them question themselves. Today, you're learning the 7 dark psychology tricks behind that hidden advantage, not to manipulate, but to recognize these forces when they're used against you. And stay until the end, because trick number 7 is the one almost nobody talks about. Let's begin. Trick 1. Make them question their own thinking. Your brain never just records reality, it constantly predicts it. And when reality breaks that prediction, even slightly, you feel something psychologists call cognitive dissonance, the itch of two beliefs that no longer line up. The brain hates that tension, the way your body hates hunger. It wants any answer just to make the discomfort stop. That's exactly where influence begins. You don't need to prove someone wrong. Just ask one calm question that doesn't fit their assumption. Are you sure about that? What if it's the opposite? You've planted a crack in their certainty. And while their mind spins searching for resolution, you stay composed. You become the most stable point in the room, and their mind leans toward your version of reality simply because it offers relief. Remember this: certainty is armor. The moment doubt enters someone's mind, they stop leading and start following, whether they realize it or not. Trick 2. Pull the hidden psychological strings. Every decision looks logical on the surface. Underneath, 5 invisible forces are pulling the strings. Expectation. People see what they expect to see. Plant an expectation early, and their mind bends reality to match it. Identity. People don't just want to be right, they want to protect who they believe they are. Speak to identity and you'll move them further than facts ever could. Certainty. People choose a worse option that feels certain over a better one that feels ambiguous. Social proof. We look at what others are doing before deciding what we should do. And time pressure. Under urgency, the analytical brain steps back and the emotional brain takes over. These forces work on every person, every day. The person who sees them clearly doesn't argue louder. They simply adjust the conditions, and the other person's own mind does the persuading from the inside. Trick 3. Create confusion without conflict. Open conflict makes people defensive, and defensive people are almost impossible to influence. So the skilled strategist uses something quieter: controlled contradiction. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," you present a tone, a reaction, a detail that doesn't quite match what they expected. There's no argument to fight, no enemy to identify, just an inconsistency they can't explain. And here's the key difference. Conflict makes people fight harder for their position. Confusion makes them question it altogether. While their attention turns inward, replaying the moment and trying to solve the puzzle, they've completely stopped pushing against you. You can't argue with confusion the way you argue with opposition. Trick 4. Make silence. Do the talking. Ask a question, and then say nothing. Most people treat a pause like a void that must be filled, and they fill it with things they never planned to share. Silence creates an open loop, and the brain is desperate to close it. Refuse to speak first, and the pressure shifts entirely onto the other person. 9 times out of 10, they'll keep talking. More detail, more explanation, sometimes the truth they were trying to avoid. A persuasive argument can be countered. Silence gives them nothing to push against. The person who talks the most reveals the most. The person who stays quiet gathers information and keeps control. Trick 5. Become impossible to predict. Predictability feels safe, but it hands people a roadmap to you. Once someone knows exactly how you respond to praise, criticism, or pressure, they just push the button and wait. The answer is calculated unpredictability, built on two moves: pattern disruption, where you'd normally respond fast, take your time; where you'd normally explain, let your actions speak. Their brain stops coasting on assumptions and snaps its attention back to you. And calibrated withdrawal. Occasionally pull back your energy or availability. No anger, no drama, just quiet control. People notice absence far more intensely than presence. Machiavelli warned that predictable rulers become easy targets. The same is true in everyday life. A person who's always easy to read becomes background noise. Trick 6. Change the battlefield before they notice. Most arguments are won or lost before anyone notices the real battle has shifted. Whoever controls the frame of a conversation controls the outcome. If someone calls you selfish and you defend why you're not, you've already accepted their frame. You're fighting on their battlefield. Instead, reframe. Setting boundaries isn't selfishness, it's self-respect. Now they're the one adjusting to your terms. Pair it with projection inversion. When someone accuses you of something that actually reflects their own behavior, don't get defensive. Calmly observe the pattern in their behavior. No anger, no counter-accusation. Suddenly the spotlight has quietly moved, and they're the one reflecting. Trick 7. Reveal less, influence more. And here's the one almost nobody talks about. In a world obsessed with oversharing, restraint has become quietly commanding. It's called information asymmetry. Whoever holds more than they reveal keeps a hidden advantage. When you explain every decision and justify every choice, people feel they fully understand you, and they stop paying attention. But when you speak with calm confidence and share only what's necessary, their minds fill in the gaps with curiosity and respect. Every word you do choose to share carries more weight. Excessive justification signals you need approval. Selective silence signals your decisions don't require permission. Machiavelli knew people rarely act on facts alone. They act on perception, certainty, emotion, and the stories their minds create under pressure. Use these 7 patterns wisely, to recognize hidden influence when it's aimed at you, and to stay clear-minded while everyone around you is trapped in confusion. That is the greatest advantage there is. If this opened your eyes, hit like. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for the next lesson on strategy and psychology. Stay sharp, stay aware, and never let anyone else write the story of your own mind.